Today we are going to be talking about Jesus casting out a demon, and it's found in Luke 4:31 to 37. And we're going to start reading in chapter 4, verses 33 and 34. Now in the synagogue there was a man who had a spirit of an unclean demon, and he cried out with a loud voice, saying, "Let us alone. What have we to do with you, Jesus of Nazareth? Did you come to destroy us? I know who you are, the Holy One of God." So we first see that there was somebody who was demon-possessed in the synagogue, and we just see that it was a man with a demon possession, and the demon cried out, "Let us alone. What have we to do with you, Jesus of Nazareth? Did you come to destroy us? I know who you are, the Holy One of God." So we see that he was afraid of Jesus because he said, "Let us alone." Like, stop. We don't want you to come near us, because he was afraid. And he also realized that that Jesus could destroy the demon. So he was afraid because he knew that Jesus had power over the demons and over life and death, and also that the people that were listening to this would know that only God and prophets of God had the power to do that, because only God is able to control that. So this is a claim to divinity of Christ. Even the demons know that Jesus is the Christ. And we also see that he is the Holy One of God. Even the demon says that he is the Holy One of God. So even the demons realized that Christ was perfect and blameless, and he was the one promised from God to be the Savior, and he also is God. In verse 35 we read, "But Jesus rebuked him, saying, 'Be quiet, and come out of him.' And when the demon had thrown him in their midst, it came out of him and did not hurt him." So we see Jesus' response, and he just says, "Be quiet and come out of him." So he's stopping and silencing the demon, and it just says, "Be quiet." Like, there wasn't much more. It was simple. And he said, "Come out of him." So he commanded the demon to come out. And he listened. The demon comes out immediately, it says. And it just says it came out of him and did not hurt him. So we see that not only did Jesus have power over removing the demon, but he also had power over the effects that the demon had on the man that was possessed, because he didn't get hurt. So he didn't just rid him of the demon, but he also protected him from the hurt that could have come from the demon. And we read in verse 36 to 37, "Then they were all amazed and spoke among themselves, saying, 'What a word this is! For with authority and power he commands the unclean spirits, and they come out.' And the report about him went out into every place in the surrounding region." So from this we see that the crowds were amazed, and they were excited to see what was happening. It says that it says right here that for with authority and power he commands the unclean spirits. So even these most likely unbelievers saw that Jesus had authority and power that was only from God. And they also see here that the unbelievers, most likely, or the crowd, was actually spreading the word of Jesus, that they were so amazed that they couldn't keep quiet. Because it says, "And the report about him went out into every place in the surrounding regions." So when somebody hears about Jesus, their response is immediately amazed and wanting to tell everybody. And that's how Christians are, because we are amazed at the glory of God and the grace of God and the love of God and the power of God. And the response is that we can't help but be silent. A Christian that's silent hasn't really experienced Christ, because you can't keep silent on something that is that amazing as Christ, the God, the Son of God.